Welcome back to a little update video today. We will take a quick look at AMC because of this little run today. We will also take a short look at FFAI because someone asked for it. We will make a big update on microvision, the same for Bad Bath and Beyond. And at the ending, we will take a little update on BBBY, and we will look at one community wish. If you're interested, just stay tuned. As always, I am using the Fractal Method. I will link the explanation video at the end of the video, or you just search for the playlist Fractal Method on my channel. Well, then let's jump into AMC. And today we will just do the small update. For the big one, I will link the big video with 1-part squeeze, 2-part squeeze, whole story, price targets, and at the end of the video. Today we will just look what we have done today. So let's zoom in. So it was a pretty good run today. And of course, a lot of people asked, was this now the button? Or shit, I missed the button, and so on and so on. The thing is, I already showed that in the last video. Yeah. This isn't really looking like a real V. What I mean with it. In the last video I showed, in 2021, in 2024, in 2025, before the 3 big squeezes, we always did the same. We slowly were grinding over weeks down, got a pretty big candle, also on the 3rd minute. I also showed it on the 1 minute, and got the instant V out of it. No double buttons, nothing. Now, this isn't a double button, so fine, working. The only problem I really have with this is not really a V in my opinion. I mean, okay, it's a V, yeah, but it's not a V, yeah. It's a bottom, up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah, it's not really looking like a V. You could even say it's more looking like this, up, down, down. Yeah. So yeah, that would be my answer if this was the V. But yeah, to say that, all rules are here. Yeah, we have 1 candle down and got a V. No double button, fine. Did you miss the bottom? Yeah, maybe, but even then, that's not bad. Yeah, just saying, because what would happen now? Yeah, so I will present now 2 versions for this. Version 1, this wasn't a V. Yeah, this wasn't a button. That means today, tomorrow, or next week, we will find our top. This top won't break this trend line. I say that. So we won't break 127. I already write it in the comments. Breaking 127 would be confirmation that this could be really the bottom. If you reject here and you fall back down and you touch or break 110, we have to look for the bottom again. And I know it's fucking boring, and it's really getting really, really boring. That would be the bad version. Good version is this was our bottom. But as I showed in the big update video, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, but 2021, 2024, 2025, we never done this. And other stocks also are not doing this. In my opinion, we are not squeezing from here. We just don't. Yeah? So, version 1 would be, this is our top of the higher low. If we're still going up tomorrow, but rejecting 128, 130-ish, yeah, then this is the top of the higher low. Yeah? But doesn't matter if this was the top or we just get a little additional run tomorrow, we have to come down for the higher low. Yeah? Anything over 111 to 113-ish. Yeah? Because if this was the top, yeah, then we have to fall under the 786, which is 113. If 130 would be the top, well, then we have to also fall under 113. Doesn't matter. Yeah? If we do that tomorrow, and I absolutely clearly say that no financial advice, if we do something stupid like this and this, or this tomorrow till market close, I would say there's a chance we see something stupid next week. Yeah? If we just doing nothing, I don't think we do nothing, but even if we just do this tomorrow, I see no chance for squeeze next week. Only my opinion. Yeah? If we breaking 128, 130 tomorrow, yeah, then I have to say I still don't see a chance for a squeeze next week. Why? I already showed that in the big update video. There are two ways this bottom can play out. First, we're doing the high low, then going to A. The top of A would reject the 200 EMA, and then doing the 0.5 pullback, and then we squeeze. Yeah? Or that would be the slowest version. Or we just forget the higher low and just go up to A. Yeah? That's what I mean. If we're breaking 130 tomorrow, we will do next week the A, yeah? Which would reject the 200 EMA. Also with this, I would say if we're not getting a lot of volume, alone the uptrend will take 1 or 2 weeks. Yeah? And then we still have to do the pullback. Yeah? But that's why I think I already said it. Sorry, it's already very late here. It's 4 a.m. in the morning. So version 1, we finishing high low. We can do something stupid next week. We're doing version 2, we're doing the higher low, but we still need in the next weeks the run to A and the pullback would be the slowest version. Version 3, we don't do the higher low. We break tomorrow 130 and we still have to go to our A and then the pullback. Yeah. And of course, version 4, we go lower, we make a new low and all over again. Yeah. But in my opinion, you didn't miss anything. Yeah. Because even if we just do this for the next weeks, you still have to buy in here. And if you bought now at 110 or at 130, who cares? Yeah. Okay. So much for AMC. GME, no movement. Just watch the big update video. There is absolutely no change for what could happen. Yeah. Okay. Next one is FFAI. For FFAI, also only a small update. Yeah. So for the full story, link at the end of the video with the big update. Today we will just watch what we have done this week. And it's quite nerve-wracking. Yeah. I already got so many messages. Is it now over or not, or not, or not, or not? Yeah. And I really can understand that. Yeah? Because in my latest biggest update video, I said we are not allowed to touch 43 cents. Because if you're making here a double bottom again, this isn't V and you will go lower. And then you will go to 30, 20, 10 cents. And in my opinion, there is no risk management then anymore. And this play is just that. I'm not saying you can't see something stupid if you break here to the downside. But really, if you do that, I mean, reverse split, OTC, bankruptcy, whatever, no risk management. Yeah? But that would be the bearish version. For the bullish version, everything is still fine. And I will show that in a second. FFAI likes to fuck you all the time. You see, I have here at our V an alert. Yeah. And even when I was looking at the stock, yeah, here, and here, I thought, okay, now it's over. Yeah. Because you really have to look at this. Yeah. Our V is at 43.90 cents. Where did we bounce? On 44 cents. That's 0.0010 cents higher. That's a joke. Yeah? But it's working. What is this? Well, this would be our V. First higher low, second higher low. Yeah? As long as we're not touching 43.90 cents, everything is perfect. As I showed in the last videos, there are only two ways. Three ways if you count the absolutely death spiral into it, but for the bullish version there are only two ways. First, we still have to do now our macro high low, this one, which won't break over this trend line, which will most likely reject at 90-80 cents. Yeah? Doing the higher low, most likely will bounce at 0.001 cent higher than the V again. Yeah? And then you can see something stupid. Or the absolutely dream version, you may be adding a little micro higher low still, and then you go. Yeah? And as I said in the big update video, if this was the V, this whole fractal is finished. And I don't expect something like A, pullback B, pullback C, because FFAI is never doing that. Whenever this is finished and bullish, you just see volatility. One last thing, what did I meant with FFAI likes to fuck you? Because we didn't see this the first time. Yeah? Here the same. V, high, low, run. Here also. In November 2024, V, little higher low, big higher low, another higher low, and then run. Yeah? 3 higher lows after another. And the most significant one is April 2024 till we got the 1000% move. And I like to compare this movement to now, yeah? Because we are doing the same thing right now, in my opinion. We had our V, we had the first higher low, yeah? And if you look at this, bottom $1.52, higher low $1.52. If we go at lower time frame, I guarantee you that was again just something 0.001 cent higher. Yeah? FFAI likes to do this shit. Yeah? So first higher low, second higher low, 1000% move. So there is a chance. Yeah, I have a little position. Yeah, no financial advice. I got into some January 2027 just so I don't have to look at it every second. Yeah? And I only played with money I don't care. Yeah? There is a chance this thing is doing something absolutely stupid, or it dies. Yeah? 100% risk play. Okay. Next one is microvision. So for microvision, I think I already showed that on my channel at the beginning of the channel. I had to update some things. Most of the tracking is still the same, but because of that, I wanted to make a big update. So I only have two versions for this. An absolutely bullish one, an absolutely bearish one. Yeah. I leaning to the bullish one, just saying. But it doesn't matter if it's the bullish or the bearish one. Let's start with the tracking, and I will explain it during that. So microvision started its IPO in the run to its macro B. Then pullback, and then we went to all-time highs. Then we fell down, lower high, perfect midpoint, perfect last time to sell, down to our all-time low. So, for the bullish tracking, if you already are following me longer, you will know what this is. Yeah? This is just a wonderful trend line, a breakout retest. We are under the M line, yeah? We are over the T. Means this can only be A. And quite the same theory like AMC, there is no higher low here. Yeah? Means same like AMC, we falling to our V, jump the higher low, doing the A, and then just breakout retest. There is just one thing for this, which is very important. A, if you already know what I mean, is A is always pull back into the 0.5 or the 0.618 fib. Yeah? So if you look from our V to our A, the 0.5 already died. Yeah? We fell under the 618. And as I'm always saying, you don't have to bounce at the 0.5 or 618. You can bounce over or under it. But one important thing, you're not allowed for an A to touch or break the 786. If you touch 46 cents, this isn't A. And then the bearish version comes. But to that in a second. If this is bouncing now, or just a little bit down still, but if this is bouncing now, your A pullback is finished. What comes after that? After that comes B. And B is anything over $45. Yeah, $45. Somewhere over this. Yeah? Then you will go up. If slow or quick, doesn't matter. 0.5 pullback, and then the only question is, are you breaking all-time highs? Here also, just saying, microvision is an extreme slow mover. Yeah? Even this run here, even if it looks quick, if you look from the V to the top, this took you more than a year. Yeah? Just saying, I wouldn't play options on this. Even if you 100% know that we're going up, I mean, you could play leaps, yeah, so 1 year out options. Yes, would be better, yeah, if even, but this could easily take 2 to 3 years. Just saying. So now to the bearish version, yeah, and that's the shitty part. If you touch or break 46 cents, this can't be A anymore. But if this is not A, what is this then? Well, the only possible way is that this isn't our trend, that this is our trend. And that means that this is our T. And that means that you have to go under the all-time low, wherever we are going. And that's already shitty because it would be under 15 cents. You have to search for a bottom again. And this could already take half a year, yeah, because this is, this is 85%-ish, yeah. And even if you found your bottom, you still have to do your higher low, and then you can go up. I tell you, if you're not bouncing here, and if you're breaking 46 cents, I am not playing this. Since we find our V, maybe I only track it, because then this display is so absolutely uninteresting. Yeah? But I'm still on the play where I say I don't see that. Yeah? I still think this is A. Yeah? But for this we have to bounce here and not touching 46 cents. Then everything is fine. Okay, next one is BYND. Okay, for Beyond, also today, just the update, what we did this week, for the full story, for price targets, and just watch the linked video at the end. Okay, let's zoom in. So, because I already got the questions today, do I see a pullback to $70? It's quite the same like microvision I showed today. If we break or touch 21 cents, not 70, 21 cents, this can't be A anymore. This can't be a breakout retest anymore. In that case, this would be just higher low. Yeah. This whole thing would just be higher low. And then I tell you, this little gap here between 66 cents and 65 cents is on the table to get filled again. Yeah, don't see that, but if you break the 786 fib, and that's 71 cents, it's really likely you do that. Yeah? So if not, and our old bullish tracking is still valid, which I think, this is just, this here is our V, this is our higher low, and this is just A, and this is a breakout retest. And also, since we broke out here, we are kissing the 618. Yeah, we're kissing the 618. Perfect. Also, even more bullish, you could say that here on Tuesday this week, this was the ending of the A pullback, and this whole thing is just higher low. Yeah. So for all the versions, I showed all the versions: the quick version, the slow versions. If you're interested in this, here there are only 3 ways. First, we go upside from tomorrow. Little higher low is finished, off we go. Second, this is not finished yet, and we still have to come a little bit lower, but we are not allowed to touch or break 76. Yeah, 76 cents. Yeah, as long as you bounce here, everything is fine. And especially if you're not breaking this tomorrow, this could be interesting for next week. If you touch or break 76 cents, yeah, then you will just make a perfect breakout retest. Yeah, not bad, as long as I said you're not breaking 71 cents. Yeah, as long as you're over that, I mean, that's the 30-minute. I think this is still finished for a big run. And what I mean with big run, well, still tracking it for our A, as stupid as it sounds. And our big A, over $15 to $25. End of April, I think. Yeah, end of April till summer. Yeah. If you're really quick and we're repeating October, even earlier. Still looks fantastic. Yeah. Okay. Next one is Bad Buff and Beyond. So for Bad Buff and Beyond, this wasn't in the last video, so we have to do the whole update today. For Bad Buff and Beyond, I only have one bullish and one bearish version. We start with the bearish version because it's the quickest one. Means that this top here in October 2025 was our T. And that sadly means we have to break the low of April 2025. If we're making a new all-time low, we have to see, but we have at least to break $3.57. I'm not seeing that yet, but always have an old. For the bullish version, it looks perfect. We have our V in March 2020, A, B, C, perfect low high, perfect midpoint, perfect T before we fell to our V. And our V would be April 2025 till today. And this thing from April 2025 till today is just our higher low. When this is finished, our next target should be $24, yeah? Why $24? First of all, we have to go over T. Yeah? Also our T line is $16, but we won't break under this trend line again. And then you just take from your V, the fib, 0.5. I mean, maybe if we're really quick, yeah, we could go to 32. Yeah. 0.5 pullback, breakout retest, B, 0.5 pullback from our A. And then the only question is, are we breaking all-time highs or not? Also, if you're repeating something similar to 2020, you won't see these pullbacks. Yeah, maybe not. So, question is this higher low now finished or not? Well, the thing is, I'm always saying higher low is ending in a 786 fib. So let's look. Yeah. Our 786 fib is down here at $4.76. Thing is just one thing. This 786 fib is just there if you can't see A. What I mean with that, if you have, for example, a downfall, a V, and a huge rip, yeah, and then an LMT, then you want to know where is your A, because you just have one candle. Yeah? Then you take the 786 fib to find your A. In that case, right now, we know where our A is, because here's our V, higher low, perfect A, perfect B, perfect C. And our A bottom is here at 5.65. Oh my God. Sorry, it's late. Means the higher low is always ending in a V under A, which we already did. Also, if we look at this downfall, we have our top, our C, then we have our lower high, our midpoint, our T. Our T is starting here, and technically our T was finished here. Yeah? So technically, this higher low is over and is finished. Also, if you look at this here, the ending here, February the 12th was our lowest point. And this point here is higher. Here is higher. So we could have already finished our macro higher low, and this is just our micro higher low. Yeah? So in the best possible way, the fractal is finished. And we start our journey up to our A. There are only two alternatives I would have if why ever this still needs time. The same what we see in FFAI, for example, or in BYND. You're adding another micro high low, and then you go. Yeah? Or, as I said, if you break or touch 4.81, you maybe really go to the 786. Yeah, and then you go. Yeah. For the absolutely bearish version where you break downside here, I can't say your levels. Yeah, because here is nothing. Yeah, if I tell you, yeah, if we break 3.55, we will make new lows. Yeah, that's not helping. But I would say if we break under $4, it gets critical. And we really have to look at the bearish version. Just saying. For timing, no financial advice. I would think that we at least see our A end of summer. Maybe even earlier. Let's see. Okay. Next one is Bull. So Bull was in the last update video, but sadly with this earnings move, I had to update tracking a little bit, but nothing really extreme. But we will just go through the whole tracking. So we, in April 2025, just 2 candles to the upside, A, B, C, then lower high, midpoint, T. The M and the T still the same, nothing changed. Yeah? Our next price target is still something over $10 for our A, and B is still over 18. The thing which changed is down here, because in the previous big update video, our tracking was this. I think, yeah, was this. Yeah, no, yes, was this. Yeah, always show mistakes or bad tracking. Yeah, because in the previous tracking, this was still our V. Yeah, this was our higher low, but this here was our, similar to BYND, our breakout retest for our A. Yeah? But with this earnings move, this can't be A anymore. First of all, we broke under the trend line again. And second of all, it went under the 786. Yeah? So this can't be A anymore. So it can only be this. Two versions. First of all, we are not holding this. We make new lows like FFAI, and bull is just saying fuck you, and we have to find a new bottom, and then we have to start again. Yeah, not seeing that yet, but yeah. For the bullish version, this whole thing is our higher low. Yeah, this was the first one, this was the second one. Yeah? And if you see that, we even did already a little lower high. So for the bullish version, you have only two versions. First of all, this higher low is finished. We will do our breakout now. If we're doing the small at the slow A, B, C to our macro A, or if we're just going upside, you can still watch the big update video with all the versions we have. Today, just this little thing. The only alternative, if you're not going down, if you're not running, is that the same like FFAI is we're adding another little higher low. And then we go. Yeah. But this thing still looks bullish. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, there's a reason why I hate stocks which are not even a year old. Yeah, because there's not much price action. I will still track it to the death. Okay, and last one is a community wish, OCGN. So for OCGN, I think I started my channel with this tracking also. I just stopped tracking or really showing it because it's so boring. It's just doing nothing. It's quite a sweet fractal still, but it's such a slow mover. But for tracking, it started its IPO in its all-time highs in its C, then lower high, midpoint, T, all-time low. Also here, a perfect example for what happens if your T is too short for the main trend line. You just do an MT line, yeah? Because you have here your V, this little higher low. I will show that for the next DGT tracking, but this would be the perfect example why the second rule with MT is working pretty good. So V, micro higher low, big higher low. And that's the shitty part right now, yeah, because this whole thing here is the macro higher low, yeah, and it could have been finished here, but we added another one, and we may be adding another one again, yeah. If this is just another one, you have to expect that you could fall under 68 cents again, yeah. Whenever this higher low nonsense is finished, I'm still pretty confident your next target is your A. And your A has to be over the T-line, $21, and also over this trend line. Means if you're doing a 0.5 pullback, yeah, then your A is at $74. 0.5 pullback, breakout retest. Next target is beaten. Has to be over $187 dollars. The only thing is, it's so slow. I wouldn't play options if there are options on it. I really don't know anymore. I wouldn't play options on it, only shares, because it's so slow. And all your decision, but there are so many better plays. Yeah, let's see. It's looking good. And I don't really have a bearish alternative right now. So yeah, looks good. Okay. Well, was a little bit longer this video. As always, if you liked it, you can leave a like. Explanation video here, playlist here, the big video with all versions here behind. And thank you for watching. Let's see what happens tomorrow. See ya.